Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video with your host, Rising Oblivion. I have some brand new information in regards to Persona 5, the Phantom X. Sorry, this is the only thing kind of going on right now in terms of ATLUS and, the Persona-verse, I guess, or whatever you want to say, the Mega 10-verse, but we have some more information in regards to this game in terms of dubbing, future plans for the game, the beta feedback, and some more goodies here about the game. So let's go ahead and jump on into this. So as many of you know, there was a 3-day closed beta test for Persona 5 The Phantom X, which ended on March 31st. The game's producer, Perfect World Games, on behalf of the developer Blackwing Game Studio, which is not something I knew about. Blackwing Game Studio is actually another part of it, and had released a blog detailing some of the feedback from the players and also some information from the developers about the future of this feedback and what they plan to do here in the future. So as we all knew, there was a lot of people trying to get into this beta, even people who were not from China, people trying to use like fake Chinese IDs and stuff like that to get into this. So this was supposed to be just a small scale, very limited time thing for this beta, but they did acknowledge, the developers acknowledged the number of people who wanted to get into this. They did not expect as many people as there were going to be into this. There was an overwhelming amount of people who tried to get into this beta, and that ended up running into a few problems with them. And they also talk about some problems with the game just in general, how because it's a phone game there was some development issues because P5X and normal P5 have some different engines and processes, so that is why some of the audio and different things in the game was so much different compared to just base P5. But they say in the future they plan to change that and have some different things here. There were also some 2D and 3D scripted animations for the game that, again, people who have got to play the beta didn't even get to see because of how early this game is in development. Like I said, this was supposed to be a small test and not really fully represent what this game was supposed to be. So that is sort of when it comes to the developer side and what they were saying and getting the people's feedback. Apparently there's some bad animations or 2D, 3D animations that were not complete, some bad voice acting things here or there, some gaps when it came to, the music and the environments and stuff. Those are all things that they plan on changing and fixing in the future, so that's some stuff we know there. But let's go ahead and jump into the voice acting here, which I think is what a lot of people are wanting to know more about. So we have some confirmation here that says that there is going to be, in addition, Japanese language settings. Of course, Chinese dubbing is already being prepared and already something that they are doing, but they say that there's going to be other language dubbing available for players to choose in the future. So what does that mean exactly? We know for sure Japanese is going to be happening, Chinese is currently happening and they're working on that, but there is going to be additional other language dubbings available in the future for players to choose. I will keep you guys up to date on that in terms of what we know of what's going on there and how that's going to be happening. What that basically means to me is English. I mean, they're going to be choosing other language than Chinese and Japanese, right? The two studios are a Chinese company and a Japanese company. I think the only other real logical choice is to, of course, have English and then other probably European languages, I assume, or other Asian languages is probably what's going to be happening there first, and then jumping over to other places like, around the world. So English has to be one of the first third choices they're going to be going for. Just seeing as how big the market is for the English-speaking countries, that has got to be the case. I'm not confirming that. However, it seems to be that is what they're kind of entailing when it comes to that. And if you're curious about the dubbing, way that's going to be going on, how they're going to be, bringing the cast in and doing that, it seems to be, from what they are saying, is that ATLUS themselves and over at the Perfect World Studios in China, both are going to be overseeing the performances and overseeing the direction when it comes to the dubbing process, which is something I was worried about, because if you play the Persona games, there's at least two things you know. The voice acting is typically very good, and the music is very good. From what it seems from this game already, it has some pretty cool music and a brand new, song for it done by Lynn, so the music seems pretty great. The things that people have been really worried about is the dubbing process. So let's just hope that with ATLUS at least having some oversight on this when it comes to the voice acting, that is going to be done well. And I assume that they're going to be choosing, of course, the same voice actors and trying to go for the same feel that P5 did. This game is kind of trying to build its back off of P5, so that makes the most sense for them to be doing that. I mean, the game is P5X, it makes sense, but I'm talking about just like the actual game itself. Hopefully they try to go for more of what that dubbing was like and how clear and how just fun that was for those characters. So fingers crossed that they try to, you know, keep ATLUS heavily involved with that, because obviously ATLUS did it right. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope that's what we're going to be seeing moving forward. So that kind of seems to be what it is. Hopefully everybody who wants to play this game gets it in their language. Fingers crossed. Like I said, I'll keep you guys up to date on that. They said that there is going to be future optimization plans, so there could potentially be some more future betas. They're going to be optimizing the game, fixing bugs and whatnot, and simultaneously admitting more content, and the team will preserve the current development policy and fine-tuning to prepare for higher quality versions of that content. So not only are they fixing the game, but trying to make the game even better from what we can see. So it says that people should try and pay attention for future information on that. And it looks like also there were some confusion when it came to people on some of the things that were data mined. And if you watched my last video, I talked a lot about these thumbnails for potential palaces. It looks like that could or could not be true for what is in the game. Turns out there were a lot of things that were data mined and were not actually material that was going to be in the game. Either they were waste material, temporarily something they were using, or reference material that people were going to be using for the game. So not all of that was actually used stuff. So there were things that were data mined that you did not actually see like being popped up whenever somebody played the beta. There is a chance that that is not actually in the game. And from what I understood, out of all the information I've kind of shown off and collected, it looked like just the like little thumbnail type pictures for the palaces. It looked like those were the only things that I found that were kind of like data mined, I guess, because those were just files that were in the game. That wasn't something that was ever popped up or shown up. There might have been a few other things I can't really remember. It's been like a week since I made that video, but it looks like there is going to be some material that is obviously not going to be in the main game, because that was just stuff found within the files. Like I said, it was either waste, temporarily material, or reference material for certain things within the game. That doesn't mean it's not true, because it's hard to tell what's data mined and what is actually going to be used for future stuff in the long run of the game, right? This is just a small build of the game. They're not going to completely strip it clean and not have some of the stuff that is meant for future material in the game not in the beta, right? That would just take a lot of time, so we might be seeing some of the stuff in there, we might not be seeing. Hopefully there is those palaces in there, because man, those palaces looked super cool, especially the one that had you know, it looked like something out of Final Fantasy VII. It looks super cool. Honestly, all of them looked really cool. The one that I think for sure is, it's gotta be real, is the one that had Joker and Morgana in it. I mean, if they're gonna have the main cast of characters in it, that has to be one at least. So I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But it looks like the beta, for the most part, went pretty good. They're working on optimizing the game. They're working on more voice languages. So hopefully, like I said, we get some betas over here in the West or other parts of the world. And hopefully this game just meets the expectations that we are kind of looking forward to. Again, take it with a grain of salt. We'll just see how the game goes. It is still a mobile game. Who really knows what direction this is going to go into? I want to play the game, see what it's all about. I'm not going to be super quick to judge. However, I am going to, you know, not have my rose-tinted glasses on because of, you know, my love of going through Persona 5 Royal and playing that game. So, again, keep your expectations at a minimum, I think, is probably a safe bet here when it comes to this. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe for more content. As always, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you all so much for watching.